Hello, hello. Welcome back. Master Ball, week 6. We're facing MSR. I got no dark type. Nope. Well, I don't, but I have no fairy type versus an Urshifu single strike. Kind of scary. He also doesn't have a ghost resist and I have a Spectre. So, you know what? We'll call it equal. But yeah, Wicked Blow does destroy my team. I have Keldeo as a resist, and that's about it. And Terra Fairy Iron Leaves, which, spoilers, is showing up. I kind of feel like I need it. Let me redimension this a little bit. Um, so yeah, I don't really have a Lando, or I don't have a switch into Urshifu. I brought max defense Lando, but during the game I realized, oh, Intimidate doesn't reduce Wicked Blow damage. I still live 2 if they're not banded, but it's not as comfortable. Um, they have webs. I have no removal. Pretty tough. They also have no. Their shield type's a Berserker, so I actually ended up bringing like not quite max attack Dragalge, but like offensive Dragalge, because Poison plus Dragon hits their team very hard outside of like uh, Araquanid. And I do think Araquanid is showing up. Terra Water does tear through my team pretty well. Um, Keldeo and Dragalge, I have Water Resist, but they're not great. Like they're still getting 3 KO'd, maybe 2 KO'd if they're banded. Let's look at what I brought. First up, Booster Speed Crown. This thing, when their steel type's a Berserker, is like God. Unfortunately, if webs go up, it's just going to be special attack booster, because that's how the interaction works, but it's still not bad. It hits very hard. Their team does not like switching into Tachyon very well at all. Then I have Psychic Noise, which is better for Clef, if I want to not just kill it with Tachyon for some reason. And then Psy Shock hits Araquanid harder, and Psychic Noise also pretty nice for Petch. It hits it a lot harder uh, than Psy Shock would. Next up, Specs Modest Keldeo. Look at their water switching. They do have triple water immunity, so you'd think Specs Cal is a bad bring here. But Araquanid probably going to be Water Bubble, and I don't think the other two are really going to show up. So, Specs Modest Keld it is. I have Secret Sword, because it does a little more damage to the Araquanid. And like in case they bring a Water Absorb on, I have a move to click into it. I do have Vacuum Wave as well, just for like in case Urshifu's like Swords Dance Trailblaze, Dual Stab. I have something to stop that in the back. Next up, Spectre Boots. I hate bringing boots. It's a great item, but I don't like it. I like bringing damage boosting items, but I need something to be faster than everything. And if webs go up, Spectre is not. So that's what boots are for. Just sub to avoid the Sucker Punch from Urshifu, Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball hits everything. Trading Kiss does a little more to the, or a lot more to the Urshifu. That is their Shadow Ball resist. I said they didn't have one. It's that. Standard set, faster than everything, max special attack with some HP. Next up, max defense Lando. This is what was supposed to be my Urshifu switch in. Just click EQ, it hits pretty much everything. You turn on Torn, hits everything else really. Get up rocks and taunt. I'm not going to taunt the Araquanid because I don't feel like dying in one hit. But like I can taunt the Clef or Petra to keep them low. Something like that. Standard set. Next up, not so standard of a set. Double Dance Iron Leaf with Terra Fairy. I'm expecting webs to go up, so I have agility, so that after an agility I'm faster than everything. Swords Dance, if they don't get up webs, maybe like if they don't break Torn, I guess I'm not running a lot of speed, so I'm gonna be slow. But agility and Swords Dance, I'll click whatever I need. I really only need Leaf Blade plus Psy Blade, Dual Stab, because that's actually really decent coverage when they don't have a steel type outside of Berserker. They do have Terra Steel on all 3 of their Terras, so I gotta watch out for that, but I don't think these two are... Terra Electros could show up. They probably want Terra on their Araquanid, I think. Psyblade is nice for Petrarunt, and it also hits the Tor pretty well. Max Attack Adamant does a lot of damage. I don't really need a Swords Dance that badly, but if I can get both, I probably win the game. And last up, here's that Dragalge I was talking about. Max HP, enough speed for defensive Clef, which is also going to be outspeeding most Araquanids, hopefully. And then the rest in special attack, I'm modest. Dual Stab, I have Dragon Pulse and Draco because I didn't think I needed another move. And then flip turn, because why not? That's the team. What do I expect to see? Urshifu, absolutely. This is the best Urshifu matchup probably of all time. Torn, probably. Clef, definitely. Um, I think it's just good into my team. Petch, maybe. Donphan, maybe. Arachnid, probably. Ogerpon, maybe. And then maybe one of these bottom ones, I don't know. What do we see? We see a Lantern. Keldio's biggest enemy. Clicking Surf this game is going to be a lot harder. I'm expecting them to be Water Absorb. I don't think you're that scared of Zebstrika that you want Volt Absorb. Or maybe Full Switch Crown, I don't know. But yeah, seeing Lantern kind of sucks. Would have rather seen the Petrarunt, or even Ogerpon, I guess. So, I'm just going to lead Dragalge. Leads kind of bad into Donphan, but not a lot I can, or like, lead into Arachnid besides Dragalge. So Dragalge can just 3-hit KO it before it 3-hit goes me, hopefully. So, I lead Dragalge. And they lead Arachnid. Not surprising, webs are gonna go up here, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't know if maybe something on my team had Copycat. I think, who gets Copycat? Something gets Copycat on my team, I forget who. But that could have been funny to bounce the web back, or have my own webs, I guess. But I'm just going to 3 KO this with Dragon Pulse, unless they're like max SPDA, which would suck. I'm not going to click Draco, which would do about 50. Because depending on their set, a Dragon Pulse into Draco could kill. Whereas, if I Draco first, then the next Dragon Pulse is never going to kill. I thought about Sludge Bombing, but they could be Terra Steel, which I think is very reasonable into my team. So I didn't want to Sludge Bomb and get nothing. If they Terra Steel, then I Dragon Pulse, at least I get some damage. So I Dragon Pulse and that. They're about max HP. I 3 KO them. Webs go up. Oh well. Dragon Pulse again. They have Mirror Coat. Kind of sucks for me. I get Citrus Berry still, but a lot lower than I would have been if they just clicked Water Move. And then they Terra Ghost, which is fine. I'll just Dragon Pulse and kill them. In comes this guy. I have no counterplay. Every time this comes in, it's going to get a kill, now that webs are up. So I just have to sack and then force it out. So that's what I do. I go Keldeo here, webs are up, so I will be slower. Also, based on the Keldeo set, I'm slower than max speed Urshifu, but I'm faster than what their Urshifu should be for my Landorus. That's the idea. I'm thinking they probably want to switch here. I kill them with a fighting move, very obviously, and they can't kill me. If they're choiced, they're locked into Wicked Blow. If they're not, close combat's not going to kill me. So, fighting move looks really free here. Seems like Torn's a free switch. You're faster, you take the fighting move. So I click Surf here. Surf's going to do a lot of damage to Torn. I don't think Lantern's going to come in on what could be a secret sword and it would do a lot of damage to it. So I click Surf. I Surf and it only does 48, which means it's like max HP AV with a little bit of SPDF. It's not only max HP, it has some. It could have a lot, I don't know. But it at least has some. So I do 48. Knowing this thing's max HP, it probably wants enough speed for my Keldeo before webs. So I took a long time to calc this. A long time isn't like a couple minutes, but a long time for one turn. And their Bleak Wind should not kill me, because I don't think they can afford to be max special attack, seeing as how much bulk they have. So I know I'll live a hit. I'm going to Surf again. If I get a roll, great. If not, they're very low, which means they'll be in range of Spectra, which would be nice. And Iron Leaves, and Iron Crown, pretty much everything. So I click Surf again here. Seeing Lantern makes me not value this thing as much. It's a lot harder to click Surf. And seeing 48 means I don't think they're going to switch here. Because I expected this to do a lot more damage. I was looking at like 70 or 80%. And then before I clicked the Surf. And thinking that, I said, okay, I'm going to switch the next turn as Lantern comes in because they know I'm Specs. But seeing I did 48 means they're probably not going to switch because they think they take the next one. And I'm kind of making it obvious, but yeah, I live the Bleak Wind and I do get the high roll Surf, which is very nice. The thing being dead is fantastic for Lando. just clicking Earthquake into this team is very free now. And now I'm a defensive Landorus, but Earthquake still does some pretty good damage. That being said, is also great for leaves. And I can save Keldeo in the back if I want to. But guess who's coming back in? Yeah, Urshifu. They get a Trailblaze. That's fine. Tells me they're not choiced, unless you're choiced Trailblaze, which is kind of insane. So knowing they're not choice banned means I can go Lando, I can live 2, Wicked Blows. I'm just going to Earthquake, they don't have a switch in. Any chip is great. If I break Sturdy on Donphan, great. If I get chip on Clef and figure out the set, great. So I just click Earthquake. Earthquake will 2-KO them after helmet damage as well. So that's what I go for. Earthquake 36. Max Fizz Def Clef, which is insane that that does that much damage. I have no investment. So I can switch into Crown here very safely. If this thing doesn't heal, Crown's going to force it out, and then Landorus will 2-KO it the next time. So it can't switch in again, which means I'll probably end up breaking Sturdy on Donphan, or they sack this, which would be great. So I go Iron Crown, which pretty much is going to force a kill, and then Urshifu is going to come back in. I knew that this is a very streamlined game. I feel like I knew the position I'd be in 5 turns from now. And I think being able to look ahead in a game like that is a good skill to develop, and this is a really easy game to see it, I think. So I click Tachyon, they don't have a switch in. Lantern comes in, just kidding, they do have a switch in. It does nothing. They're like almost max with FAV, I think that is. But the Psyshock's going to 2-KO this, so I'm not too worried. Does plenty of damage, they Scald, are they going to get the burn? They do, doesn't really matter. I thought this turn maybe they go Urshifu on the Psychic move to save a sack, but I'm not too worried about them having sacks. This thing's really just set up fodder for Iron Leaves anyways because I'm Lumberry. So if they Scald Burn me, that's fine. So even if they go Urshifu here and get the kill, that doesn't really change anything. As if I just kill Lantern or they can bring in Urshifu afterwards. So I'm just gonna click Psyshock and kill it. That's fine. Even if I get that play wrong, I think I'm in the same spot. Urshifu comes and kills me. There's nothing I can do about that. I bring in Lando again. I take rocks now that Clef got them up. But they don't really have an Earthquake switch in now. I either break Sturdy on Donphan, which is great, or kill Clef, which is great. They Wicked Blow, actually, which Helmet Chip and Earthquake Chip. Now they're in range of Leaf Blade from Iron Leaves. So once I break Sturdy on Donphan, Agility Iron Leaves wins. I get an Agility up on pretty much anything after I tear a Fairy in front of Urshifu. Let's say a Poison Jab, that would suck. Or Gunk Shot Donphan, that would also suck. But it's really hard to bring that into me, especially when I don't have a Fairy type. Half the reason you bring a Poison move is for Fairies. So yeah, Agility Iron Leaves is looking like the end game. Probably going to end up using Spectre to break this Dirty on Donphan. Unless they switch into Donphan here. But they end up sacking Clef instead, which is fine. And then they're going to go into Donphan to revenge kill me. I'm just going to go Spectre. Reveal Boots, the Ice Shard, that's fine. I'm going to Shadow Ball, break Sturdy. There's a world I could sub, predicting their Urshifu switching on Shadow Ball. I'm very much expecting them to have Sucker Punch for my Spectre, which I can sub on the next turn anyways. So I just click Shadow Ball here. 63, that's fine. Split F Chop doesn't matter. And Knockoff does kill me. I knew they were max attack based on the Ice Shard, so I knew Knockoff would cleanly be killing me. Like it did like 90 or 100% minimum. So that's that. And I bring in Iron Leaves. Earthquake, I don't think killed from Lando, so I just went for the Iron Leaves anyways. I figured clicking Agility on this thing was fairly safe, as long as they don't have Gunk Shot, which I really don't think they bring. So, my Agility is the Ice Shard, that's fine. And at this point, Leaf Blade is just going to get the last 2 kills. Sucker Punch, they do have it, not surprising, and Leaf Blade will take them out as well. That crit did not matter. Actually, I had double crit, that's nice. I was close to running, I mentioned this to my opponent later, sub Landsat Berry Iron Leaves for guaranteed crit on Leaf Blade. I saw, what's his name? Kayson's game, his quarterfinals game in whatever league it's called, with his Iron Hands, with Focus Energy Scopelins, and I thought, hey, maybe I'll try a similar thing. I guess it didn't matter, I got crits anyways, not that they mattered. So we win, we're 6-0 now with the horses. Comfortably making playoffs, comfortably being top 4. on good track to maintain number one. I got no kills on Spectre, and it died this week. This is the worst Spectre week yet. It's its first death, and it got no kills. So I was top of the MVP board. Uh, that's I might drop from that at the end of this week. Who knows? But we get some kills on our other Pokemon. We got one kill on Keldeo too. But a couple kills on Iron Leaves. Got a kill with Dragalge. A kill with Lando. And a kill with Crown. We'll take it. There's week 6. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.